Hello friends, welcome back. This is School IT Help. This is the second video of JavaFX TableView implementation. In my previous video, I have given the example of a TableView where we have using the Fxml, we have created the table view, then we have added the 4 columns inside the table. As you can see on my screen, till now what we have done. So we have created this empty table. There's no data inside it. In this video, I will cover and I will explain those steps which we can follow, and we will add the data inside the table. So let's get started. If you have not seen my previous video, so just follow the link given in the description box and just watch that video, then come back here and continue with this video. Then you will be able to add the data inside the table view. So now come back to the Fxml document controller where we have added the table columns inside the table. Okay, after that lines, now we have to follow the 4 steps. In step 1, we have to create a data class that will represent the data. So in my case, I am taking it a person class that will represent the data. Now, and in the second step, we will create the observable list to add the data inside the table. So we can add many more table rows inside the observable list. After that, in third step, we will associate the data with the columns. That means with the help of the data properties. And in the fourth step, which is very small step, in which we will add the data inside the table. Now come back to the first step 1. Now let me show you the person. I have already created the person class to save the time. Now here, see inside, we have created the 4 properties in which I have used the simple string property ID. In the similar way, we have created the name, age and email. The main point is this: we have to use simple string property class for defining the property inside the person class, or whatever you're going to take the data class for your case. And then I have created the constructor. There I am passing ID, name, age, email, and these parameters is being used to initialize these properties. So okay, now just come down. Now here you can see that these properties, getter and setter properties, a little bit different. Now you can see here the get ID method, which is returning the string value. But how it is returning? It is using the get method of simple string property class method. So whatever the ID is set, it will be returned as a string by this method. Okay, now just come down. Now we will see the set ID property method here. So we are passing the string value, but how we are initializing that object? So I am using this dot id dot set. So I am using the set method of this class to initialize the id object with the string id, what we are passing here in the parameter. So in this way we are using getter and setter method for the person class. In the similar way, I have created rest of the properties, getter and setter properties for rest of the variables for name, age and email. Okay, now come back to the Fxml document controller.java. So we have already created the step 1. Now we have to come back on next. So we will see about step 2. Here we have to define the observable list, and we will add the data to display inside the table. So just wait, I will show you. To save the time, I have already written the piece of code and I will use that one and I will explain you. So here you can see final observable list which is of person type. So here the generic type is person and this is my object, and I'm using this class fx collections.observable array list, and here I am passing the object of person class. It means in my table we have 5 rows: row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. So each object is representing a single row, and this is the person object, and we creating with the new and we passing the parameters like ID, name, age, name, age and email. Okay, so we have prepared the observable list with the data. So this data objects containing the person class objects, and it is representing a single row. Once we have done this step, now we will move on the next one. In this step 3, we have to associate the data with the columns. That means without connecting the columns with the data, it will not be displayed inside the table. Now I'm showing you how you can do that. Now you see at line number 61, I am using the object id.setCellValueFactory method, and we have to pass this property value factory object initializing with the person class and the column value, means the column name, that which is ID. In the same way, for the name column, this is the name column object using the cell value factory and the new property value factory object, and we passing the name property which is defined inside the person class, and the third one is the age. The similar way, using the set cell value factory and then new property value factory object, and we passing the name of the property which is defined inside the person class. I will show you. In the similar way we have done for the email. Now come inside the person class and you see that here you can observe ID, name, age and email. The same I have used here: ID, name, age and email. Okay, once you're done with the third step, we have almost completed all these steps. The step 4 is just last one step where we add this data inside the table view object. So now check your we'll take my table dot add set items method. You can see that this methods required observable list, and we will pass the data object which is a observable list here. So this was the last step that we have done. So we have, let me summarize from the beginning. We have created the person class which representing the data which is containing the rows. So we have defined the properties for that. In the step 2, we have defined the observable list to add the data inside it that will be represented on the table. So we are using the person object and we are using the parameterized constructor, and we are initializing these values: ID, name, age and email. Now come to the third step. In the third step, we have associated the data with the columns with the help of setCellValueFactory method. I can see here. In the same way, ID, name, age and email, all 4 columns are associated with the properties. Okay. Now in the last and at last we have added this observable list inside the table. Now save all the files and just go to the run menu and choose the option clean and build. Okay, once you have done, you will get the build successful. Now I will execute this. Now we'll see the output. Now here, now this is my table view which is populated with the data as we expected. So the ID column having the ID, name, Jacob, age 24 and email is appearing properly in the as we expected. So in such a way you can add the data inside the table view. I hope this will be useful for you. That's all guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe my channel and press the notification bell icon for new video updates. Thanks for watching.